Welcome to the RV Game Changer Show with Uncle Bernie. Brought to you by Campers in RV, the RVers trusted resource. If you're interested in RVs as a consumer, service provider, or as a manufacturer of RVs, this show is for you. Here we talk to RV experts, RV manufacturers, lifestyle influencers, service providers, charitable organizations, and component providers with a sole purpose to make RVing more fun and exciting and easier for you and your family. Please subscribe to RV Game Changer with Uncle Bernie on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Of course, find us by searching at RV Game Changer on YouTube. Let's see what we can do to make your life better this week on RV Game Changer. Good morning, everybody. Today on RV Game Changer, we have the pleasure of spending time with Paul Mitchell. He's the president of the FMCA, doing business as the FRVA. Paul, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today. Excellent. So thank you for taking a few moments out of this busy weekend that you have here, the 110th convention and exposition for the FMCA. With that many conventions, I'm sure, it's been around a little bit longer than you've been president, right?
Yes, it has.
So you can tell us a little bit about how long you've been with the organization and how you got into it.
Okay. Yeah, and first of all, FRVA, FMCA started in 1963 in Hinckley, Maine with 26 rigs.
Oh, wow.
And that was starting of the organization, and it's basically went up since then. It's very good.
1963, it's a little while.
It's a little while, yeah. I actually been a member since 1960, not that
1937.
1992.
1992, okay,
yes.
yeah.
And I bought a new motorhome. They gave me this invitation to join FMCA at that time, and I did, and I've been a member ever since.
So the first motorhome you bought, they gave you an invitation to the FMCA?
Wasn't the first one.
Okay, so how long have you been out an RVer?
RVer since my first motorhome, Class A, was in 1986.
1986.
Yeah.
So about 6 years into it, you decided to join the FMCA. And now, how did you get into the leadership roles? How did that transition?
Well, just like most of us, in 1992 and on, I was very involved. I was working and doing many things, so I did not get involved. I loved the magazine, and I stayed with it, and the questions and that they answered. In 2014, I kind of changed careers or positions. What I was doing was, and I looked around and said, I really need to stay busy, and I'd been part of FMCA for a long time. I said, well, let me go ahead and start volunteering. And volunteered in Lebanon, Tennessee at the actual international area rally in 2014, and since that time, I've done all the rallies and national conventions I can.
So it seems like you go, there's many events every year.
Yes.
What kind of events happen besides this big rally here in Perry, Georgia?
Well, we also have 10 areas as part of FRVA. 9 of those are geographic specific. For example, the western area. And this area here is part of the southeast area, which is Florida and Georgia and that area.
Okay.
So 10 areas that are autonomous. They are separate entities, but they're under the FMCA umbrella, FRVA umbrella.
And that's of which you're the president,
Yes,
right?
right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and most of those do a rally every year within their geographic area. We have one other area, the international area, which encompasses all of our areas. And that is like the Integra chapter.
Okay.
They don't have a real home, so they're part of the international area, and that's what the chapters that belong to that.
So the chapters are regional and they're based on what they're camping in, right? Is that what it sounds like?
Well, we in 2017, we opened it up to anybody that has a full-service RV for members. And that was a big change, and we're still going forward with that. We have about 6,000 members now that have towables, fifth wheels, and trailers.
So that brings up a good point. So last year, the organization decided to kind of change its name to the FRVA, or the Family RV Association. What prompted that change, and what effect does that have on its members?
The biggest reason for that change is we want to be inclusive. 2017, we said all RVs are welcome. But our name still said motor coach. So that's kind of a dichotomy there. We're sending a different message one way. So we want to make sure.
So people are probably still a little bit tepid or apprehensive about joining.
They look at the name and they say, oh, I don't have a motor coach, I don't have a motorhome, I can't join. So we think it's very important. And yes, changing a name is a big deal. We understand that. The Family RV Association, we feel, is very inclusive. It helps bring members in, and eventually FMCA will always be our name, our corporate name. We're not doing away with that. We will keep that. But Family RV Association brings other members in, lets them know they're welcome.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of folks transition from one type of vehicle to another.
Yes.
So inevitably, a lot of these people are going to be motorhome owners anyhow, but it also kind of creates a better sense of community, maybe, having a different demographic groups, some of the younger families and things like that. I'm sure it kind of really helps the organization quite a bit.
When I was younger in this organization, I always looked at it and said, RVers are RVers. Why do we have this exclusion? Because I can tell you, FMCA was somewhat looked at as snobbish at one time.
Okay.
You probably know that if you've been around a while.
I heard rumors.
And we want to be inclusive. And there's no difference between RVers and the family is what we key on. We are a family of RVers, and we're a nonprofit organization. We're the only organization like this that's self-governed and nonprofit, and it's important.
I always talk to my customers at Campers Inn about that because they're wondering about, is there any kind of like discrimination with different types of RVers and stuff? And I try to let them know that really there is not. People with pop-ups right next to a 45-foot diesel, if they're seeing you having trouble setting up your pop-up, they'll actually come over and help. That's just the nature of it. And I think the Family RV Association really reinforces that whole value system within the RVer community.
And see, the other thing we've started, which I think is extremely important, is our Pathfinder membership.
Right.
And Pathfinder is, if you're thinking about buying an RV in the next few years, then go ahead and join, and we're going to give you all the benefits we have. And the biggest thing, you get access to all of our members at the rallies and that.
Right.
And as an RVer, I know that I've probably made every mistake possible. I'll still make more, and you can let some of those people an easier way to go forward with their RV. And also we have the FMCA FRVA University, which is a wealth of knowledge. All of our technical articles, all of our travel articles are on there, and they're searchable once you're a member and go to our website. And
as I was walking around this weekend, I've noticed that a lot of people on their tags have a little thing underneath saying mentor. What's that all about? Is that inviting these newer folks into the community?
Yeah, we have always had a mentor program, but we made it much more intensive here in the last 3 conventions. And what that is when we get our first timers list, we take our mentor volunteers, we give them 10, 20, 30 of those, and they call those first timers, let them know what's going on, answer questions, telling about the rally, and become that point of contact that they can go to if they have any questions. Just makes them feel more comfortable.
Right, just like a big brother kind of helping them out, getting into it. Yeah, That's fantastic.
And it does carry on when they get here as well. Those mentors still, a lot of them will go ahead and have gatherings at their rigs and keep that group together. Just make them be welcome as a family, because they are part of our family.
Absolutely, and then introduce them to, hey, you might want to go to this seminar or to this display or this demonstration to learn more about what you're interested in. Right now we're sitting upstairs in the Reeves Arena here in Perry, Georgia, at the Georgia National Fairgrounds, and this is the 14th time that you've been here at this location. Is there something special about Perry, Georgia that keeps you guys coming back for more?
Number one, it's a great facility and it's a great location.
Right.
Obviously, we want all the snowboards coming out of Florida. And
you don't look like a snowboarder.
to come this direction and stop by and enjoy it with us. We've had up to over 6,500 rigs at this location in previous years.
Wow.
So it has been going on a long time. It's a great facility. We get great help here. We get great help from the city of Perry. And we will continue coming here.
Yeah, this is an amazing facility, that's for sure. Now, how many RVs and or RVers do you think are here right now?
My last count is 1,426 RVs, and that's family member RVs.
Right.
Doesn't include the vendors that are staying on site in that.
That's just an amazing amount of folks. And then there's also, this is open to the public as well, right?
Yes, it is. In fact, we had over 100 people come through our gate and pay to come in and take a look yesterday, and that'll continue the next couple days.
And hopefully we get this out soon enough, because this is open to the public, and with a small entrance fee, you can enjoy all the information and available content, displays, seminars, things like that. You can come on in and enjoy this wonderful culture, this community of RVers. It's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your team, because to put together a show of this nature, it takes a lot of people, right? How many acres here? Maybe 100+ acres, maybe
Yes, yeah.
many more than that. Tell me a little bit about your leadership team and the folks that really on the ground, boots on the ground, put this whole thing together.
The first part of the team in Cincinnati, obviously our events with Doug Uhlenbach and his team, they're doing all the coordination and putting this together. The executive board, we have, just like all the areas, we have 14 people on the executive board, and we all stay active, especially as we get closer and making sure. We all came in here on the 6th of March. We've been here a while, but that's to make sure things are set up, to make sure everybody understands what's going on, to make sure we haven't missed anything. And we're here to welcome the members, what it's all about. But it's a big job. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. We have almost 70 parkers that take care of that first 3-4 days to get people in. I was just told we had somebody come in at 9:30 last night, and we still went ahead and parked them.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, you had people ready to go and help them out late at night. I want to take a special shout out to Robin Gould. She's been running around, answering my phone calls, showing me around, introducing me to you, and all this. Robin Gould is a true treasure for your company, for FMCA. So I'm going to ask you a little bit. Look into the future, right? If you had a crystal ball and you looked at the FRVA several years down the road, what would you envision the FRVA community at that time?
All the organizations, associations right now are having trouble with membership, getting new members. We have the new society seems to be, they don't want to join things. We are working very hard on turning that around. I think the benefits we have to offer along with our travel and medical assist program is phenomenal. I can name 3 or 4 of our programs that'll pay your dues for the next 2 years without even thinking about it.
Wow.
And I think that part is important. We spend a lot of time negotiating those. We want to make sure what we have is you can only get through FRVA, through our membership. And we work hard on that with our partners. What I see now, talking about this facility is a good thing. I think there's room. We're the only convention of this size in the U.S. right now. Nobody else is running the big ones like this.
Wow.
I believe. I might be wrong, but
I haven't seen anybody else doing stuff of this nature.
And what we want to do, we want to develop, especially Perry, Georgia. We're going to come here the next 2 years. The reason we're going to do that is, one, let the vendors know early, hey, we're going to be here, so put this on your schedule so you can come and join us.
Right.
And also let our members know that. And we want to make this the RV place to be in March. If you have any questions about RVs, want to learn about RVs, want to buy a new one, want to buy parts, anything at all. And I think that's going to be very important because we don't have that anyplace else, and this is a good location for it.
Right. Would you be so kind to kind of go over some of the events, seminars, and vendors here this weekend?
Yeah, we have over 100 seminars here
100.
During this time frame. Our biggest complaint is I can't get to all the things I want
Exactly.
to. And we understand that, and that's what we tell them. Come to the next convention. You can get the ones you missed this time. And we have, if you go across the board and look at that, just about anything you want to do, we have Roadmaster out here. We'll install your brake system. We'll work on your rig. We have Cummins here, that company that'll go through and do services on your vehicle. And the nice thing about that, everybody these days has trouble finding someplace that'll work on my rig and do that. I can come here right in one location, and they will come to me and take care of it.
Yeah, so you're going to enjoy this whole big activity that's going on and still get your rig serviced.
Still get it serviced, and by somebody we know is qualified,
Right.
that's going to take care of it correctly. And that's becoming extremely important for RVers in this day and age.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun stuff going on too, right? In the Georgia Grown building, you have the crew from RV There Yet. You also have Campers In helping out, offering accessories and specials for their customers coming in. But it's a place to learn. It's a place to be, part of a community. And I think you're right. A lot of folks have gotten away from that, right? People are more isolated. They stay at home working, so they're not having that interaction with other folks. This is a place where you can feel comfortable, safe with your families, your children, your pets, or whatever it may be, and really enjoy the whole sensation of like the RV industry and the RVers in general are part of a bigger community, and the FRVA really emulates that.
Yes. And the Discovery Zone you mentioned, that is a great addition that we've added this time. It's going to be in Gillette with us again.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and we think, we're looking at that kind of continuing and expanding in that along with our vendors. Yeah, we have over 200 vendors here, and that's
is
a
a
lot
lot.
of choices.
Yeah, so with all the folks that are here this weekend, several thousand people. I know when the lights turned on yesterday at 1 o'clock where they said this is a go, oh my gosh, the rush. And the person taking the filming right now, Renitha, she was in an area where they just got overrun with customers wanting to get their, what they were looking for right then and there. So it's wonderful. And for people that are interested in joining the FRVA, can you tell us a little bit about how they can do so?
Yes, you can go on our website, frva.com. If you use the old fmca.com, we're keeping that. Either one will work just fine.
That's right.
And you can go on and go to the join page. It'll go through the process. When it comes up, there'll also be a QR code that you can, if you're using your phone, use the QR code, and it'll still go through the process to let you join. Push comes to shove, there's going to be an 800 number on there. You call that and talk to our membership department in Cincinnati, and they'll make sure you get taken care of.
Well, that's wonderful. And it's not just about going RVing. It's about the community. It's about the education. And, people don't realize that there is a good amount of education that you need to really enjoy RVing and how to do it better than a group like the FRVA. Thank you so much for joining us today on RV Game Changer. And this has been a real special visit. And I can't wait to see what continues to happen for the FRVA. Thanks, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Have a
Really
nice day.
appreciate it.
Today's episode of RV Game Changer is brought to you by RVing Today TV. If you're looking for RV Game Changer or anything to do with RVing and camping, you'll bet you'll find it on RVing Today TV. Visit rvingtoday.tv where you'll find a list of stations and networks carrying their shows along with additional stories, news, and contests. To get a hold of me, go to RV Game Changer on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Have a great day and God bless.